Hello, I am Elder Eliza from the Church of Light. So, first thing, any hateful, bullying, harassing, or bigoted comments will be removed immediately. Now that that's out of the way, I want to talk about Covenant 2 of our church. It has to do with women's reproductive rights. We believe that abortion should be a right, and it is in fact one of our religious rights. We believe that if a child is unwanted, then there is no reason for it to come into this world. Some children have fetal anomalies. Some fetuses have fetal anomalies, fetal anomalies. And a case that really brings this to point is the case of Kate Cox from Texas. There's Texas again. I mentioned in my last video about probably the two most evil people in Texas, Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton. Now here's where I discuss Ken Paxton. After Kate Cox was her daughter, who I believe she named Chloe, was diagnosed with trisomy 18, I think is how it's pronounced, if I remember correctly. It is a fetal anomaly that even should Chloe survive to childbirth, to being brought into this world, that she would have lived a life of pain. According to Kate Cox and her doctor, Chloe would have suffered every moment of her life after birth. They would have had to immediately, from the moment of her birth, put her into hospice care. Hospice care is where people are dying. It is not meant to treat an illness. It is meant to help alleviate some of the suffering as you die. Now, don't get me wrong, hospice nurses are some of the most compassionate people I've ever met. But no child should be forced to go through that. No parent should be forced to watch their child die in pain. Shouldn't be forced to watch their child die anyways. But to watch them suffer, it's not right. That is not the godly thing to do. It's not the compassionate thing to do. And it's not what Jesus would have wanted. So at 20 weeks, Kate Cox chose to leave the state of Texas to go to New Mexico to have an abortion. The Church of Light believes that abortion isn't just a right. It is our religious right, and it is also a human right. We believe that should a child be unwanted, or in the case of Chloe Cox, be diagnosed with a fetal anomaly, that not only should abortion be allowed, but it should be required. We believe that abortion again, not just allowed, but it should be a right. And preventing women from having abortions, should they and their doctor choose that it is the right thing for her, then it should be done. Period. There shouldn't be some old white guy halfway across the state or halfway across the country that decides what happens with your body. Abortion and reproductive health should be between a woman or a person and their doctor. Not somebody who's never even met the woman. Doctors should not be afraid of prison time or going bankrupt just to provide a necessary healthcare service. We believe, again, that it shouldn't just be allowed, that it, in the case of a fetal anomaly, that it should be required. The life of the mother always, 100%, always supersedes the possibility of a healthy fetus. Kate Cox was risking her life and her fertility, which I know it's kind of weird that I put it that way. But even if she had survived giving birth to Chloe, assuming that Chloe made it to birth, had survived that long, with the fact that Kate Cox had a history of C-sections, it put her fertility at risk, because she could not risk having a fourth C-section. Chloe most likely would have been her third C-section. Chloe was wanted. It pained Kate Cox and her family to know that Chloe would not make it into this world. But she was denied the abortion that was her right. Pro-life is anti-woman. Abortion, we believe, is our religious right. Whether you're talking about taking a couple of pills or having to go through a D&C or any other operational medical procedure, it is a right that every person, and any person that can get pregnant, should be allowed the right to have an abortion. And that is our sincerely held religious belief. Blessed be.